Yes, guys, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. We are back again. It's match day. I mean, always match day, and I really love match days and transfer days. But we take on Chelsea today. It's a game that really means nothing for us, no, but very, very important for Chelsea. They're fighting for top four, and that is, I think, that is what's so important about this game. Chelsea fighting for top four. Their starting lineup is out. The Arsenal starting lineup is out. Hit the like button, hit the share button as well. Gonna be going through these two teams and try to see, does Arsenal stand a chance? Does Chelsea stand a chance? I think Chelsea will be more aggressive. Arsenal will be less aggressive in this game because really I don't think we have a lot to fight for in the game. So the starting 11, we have started with Leno in goal, Rob Holding and Gabriela in centre back. Pablo Mari has started. I don't understand the kind of lineup he's gone for with Rob Holding, Gabriel and Mari, Saka, Elneny, Partey, Tierney, Smith-Rowe, Odegaard and pierre-emerick. That is the starting 11 for Arsenal today. For Chelsea, they have gone with Kepa, Arrizabalaga in goal. They've gone with Cesar Azpilicueta, who's their captain. Thiago Silva, Katzuma, Reece James, Billy Gilmore, Jorginho, Chilwell, Mason Mount, Havertz, and Pulisic. That is the Chelsea team. Of course, kickoff is almost 50 minutes away. We're gonna be digesting this game. We're gonna be looking at these two teams. Who is in a better position to win this game? Who needs it more? Just make sure you give me your predictions in the comments, in the comment section below, because that is all I ask for. Your comments, just your comments, your prediction. So, well, I think I don't know what he has done to go with Leno, Holding, Gabriel, Murray, as part of the defense, and Kieran Tierney. It looks like Rob Holding will be playing as right back, then Gabriel and Murray as centre backs, and then Kieran Tierney will be playing as left back. So I do not really understand the formation. I think he's either going to play a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3. I mean, that is all I can think about. But I have not seen Rob Holding play at right back. I've rarely seen him play at right back. He's more of a centre back, unless he's going to play a defense of three with Rob Holding, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Pablo Mari at the back. Then we could also effectively see Kieran Tierney joining the midfield. So I don't know. George says it is a 4-2-3-1. It doesn't really seem like a 4-2-3-1 because all the right backs in Chambers, Bellerin and Cedric, all of them are on the bench. So it's really a little bit confusing, but that is Mikel Arteta. He's never come up with a lineup that is so consistent. He's never come out with clear tactics. Like I said, Chelsea have gone with Kepa in goal. It is it's to my worry that they've gone with Kepa. I think they need the game more. I would have expected them to bring their best goalkeeper, but Mendy's on the bench. Cesar Azpilicueta has started. Thiago Silva is starting with Katzuma, and then Reece James will also be playing at left back. Then Billy Gilmore, Jorginho in the midfield with Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, and they literally do not have a striker in this game as well. So it's gonna be an interesting one. On the bench, Chelsea have Mendy, they have Alonso, they have Emerson, they have Callum Hudson-Odoi, they have Livramento, Androgen, Ziyech, Vanna, and Olivier Giroud. What is so interesting for me in this one is Chelsea have left all their strikers on the bench, and Arsenal have left all their right backs on the bench. I don't know the kind of formation. I think Chelsea is going to play false nine, either with Havertz as a false nine or Christian Pulisic. That is a little bit understandable because you think you can use Havertz as a false nine. He has already scored goals. Pulisic is another goal scorer, so you can use him as a false nine. For Arsenal, I don't know what Mikel Arteta has decided to go for. I don't know why he has decided to go for a lineup without a right back. Our right backs, our substitutes are Matt Ryan, Hector Bellerin, Chambers, Cedric, Danny Ceballos, Willian, Pepe, Martinelli, and Alexander Lacazette. That is how Mikel Arteta has decided the club to start off. So let's try to get into this. It's very interesting, but I want to share my thoughts before, because I've not done a preview, I've not done a predicted lineup, and this is not the lineup I could predict. Just to be sure, we've gone with a very, very experienced senior team, which I do understand, because it's a North London derby, and you want to put in all the respect to Chelsea. But it looks like Chelsea are going to need this game more than Arsenal needed. Chelsea still have thoughts of getting top four. I don't know whether we will leave it for them, but they still have chances of getting top four. If you look at the table right now, Chelsea are in fourth. They have 64 points. They're just 2 points behind Leicester City, who are third. Arsenal are ninth with 52 points. If we win the game, it literally means we shall displace Everton, who are eighth with 55 points. If we can get, obviously we have a bigger goal difference than them, so our win only means that we can go as far as eighth in this in this game, and it is the third game, the third last game of the season. For Chelsea, who I think need this game more, they're 2 points behind Leicester City. I think Manchester United is out of their reach now, unless United lose all their games, all the remaining games. But if they do not lose all their remaining games, I think the farthest Chelsea can go in the league is gonna be third. They can displace Leicester City. Below them is West Ham, who I don't think will be so troublesome unless Chelsea slip and then Liverpool catches up with them. So I think it's a very, very important game for Chelsea, and the way they have lined up only shows you that they need the win. Apart from Kepa, which I think is a little bit reckless from Thomas Tuchel, but Chelsea is a very defensive side. I mean, one of their best characteristics, under Tuchel, has been defending football. So with looking at Thiago, looking at Zuma, looking at Caesar, Spilicueta, Chilwell, and James, it only shows me that they have come to be very defensive in the game, and then to try to progress the ball as a group. For Arsenal, our season has been really intermarried with performances and display, so I cannot really tell what we are going to display, but all I know is this is not a very important game for us. No, we are playing without pressure, and that should be something to be scared of, if you're Chelsea, because you're playing a club that is already going to finish outside the top 7, so they cannot go to Europa League, they cannot go to to the Champions League. We should really play without any pressure. All we have to do is damage limitation. You don't need to lose by a greater margin to Chelsea. We don't need to be humiliated. And I think Chelsea would not humiliate us. They've beaten Real Madrid before. They've beaten bigger clubs before in this season. I think they have changed so much. They have transformed so much under Thomas Tuchel. But I still believe they will not humiliate us. I think Arsenal will somehow get a surviving line in this game. Probably 1-1 or losing to Chelsea 2-1. I don't see an Arsenal winning this one. I don't see us, becoming that team that is gonna give you a surprise. So if you're here and you feel Arsenal is gonna give you a surprise against Chelsea, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think even in terms of quality on paper, you look at what we have and what they have. Chelsea are a little bit, ahead of us, but there's some things to talk about. They don't have N'Golo Kante in here, so that is a very, very big blow. But they still have the likes of Kai Havertz. They still have the likes of Christian Pulisic, the likes of Mason Mount. I think that is their most deadly trio. Havertz, Pulisic, Mount, Werner is on the bench. I think we are lucky that Ziyech is not starting. They are resting him for probably the weekend game. Games are coming in thick and fast. They played over the weekend. They are playing right now, in midweek, and they'll have to play over the weekend as well. And then they'll have to play their last game, in the coming week. So Chelsea I expect a top class performance from Chelsea. They'll put in whatever they have, because they know this game literally means for me it's the game that decides whether they will qualify as third or they still have a chance of qualifying as third to the Champions League, or they will actually literally finish fourth. They have no chances of finishing, because the moment you lose this game, and Leicester, because Leicester City have won their game, so the moment you lose this game, you'll be 2 points. There will be 2 points behind Leicester City, and then over the weekend, if they do not win, it will be a race over. So Chelsea are still fighting to get third, officially to get third. And they also still have the pressure from the likes of Liverpool, the likes of West Ham, who are also trying to get top four and things like that. On a positive note for Arsenal, I think we need to win the game. I mean, there is no way we're going to finish on the second page of the table. It won't really make a lot of sense. So I think what we need to do is, as Arsenal, is prevent damage limitation, win the game. We are on this. We are 2 points ahead of Leeds United. Leeds do not have a game in hand apparently. We are 4 points. We are 4 points behind. 4 points in front of Aston Villa. Aston Villa have a game in hand, so the moment they win their game, they will be 1 point closer and closer to us. That is not something you need, and as Arsenal, we need to finish at least 9th or 8th in this season, and the only way we can do that is by winning all the games left. We have beaten Newcastle, we have beaten West Brom in our previous games. We need to beat Chelsea if we stand a chance of finishing 8th, which is also, the chances are also very, very slim. Like I said, you have 4 points behind Tottenham Hotspur, and you have 3 games to collect. So that means, that literally means for us to qualify as 7th, Tottenham will have to fail to win any of their last games. That is practically impossible. For us to finish 8th, which is a little bit practically possible, Everton, who have a game in hand against us, because they have 34 games. Actually, when we play today, we shall have 36 games and they'll have 34. So they'll have 2 games in hand. 2 games in hand plus 2 games to finish the season. Literally, it will mean that Everton have to fail to win any of their last games, which is also practically a little bit impossible. So I think Arsenal have to fight to finish on the top, on the first page of the season, or of the table this season, which is 9th. I think that is the best we can do. That is the ceiling we can do this season. It's been a very, very damaging season for the fans, a very damaging season for the players, a very damaging season to the heritage and legacy of the club. I don't expect much in this game. I'm telling you for facts. I've looked at the lineup. It's not a bad one. We should say facts are facts. It's not a bad one. Saka is in there. You have the likes of Thomas Partey. You have the likes of Odegaard and Smith Rowe, and pierre-emerick Aubameyang. Maybe Nicolas Pepe is missing this one. He has not started. I would have wanted him to start probably in this game. I would have wanted him to start. I would have started Alexander Lacazette as well. I think I've collected enough disappointments from the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang this season, so I would have started Lacazette and the likes of Gabriel Martinelli. But his manager, Arteta is manager, and there's nothing we can do. I just need to get your comments, guys, about the game. This is really about you guys. There is nothing I need to say about this game. Nothing. I don't expect us to do a lot in this game, so just need to get your thoughts on the game. You're saying, hey Kosi, today Arsenal, this is my Juma, Arsenal 2 Chelsea 1. Well, I mean, it's not bad to be very optimistic and positive. I love it. I mean, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I need to be positive as well. But like you have seen, I've never bounced back from that Villarreal defeat. I mean, that Villarreal UEFA Europa League knockout. I've never bounced back. I still feel like Arsenal is just not good enough, and there is no way I can draw courage to feel like Arsenal will beat Chelsea. I mean, practically on paper, it's really impossible. I mean, unless it is a tactical masterclass, or a hell of luck. But I don't see Arsenal beat Chelsea today. Playing holding is right back. Why Chambers is effective there? Well, I don't understand what Mikel is trying to do. I really don't understand. I don't know whether he's playing even. I don't know the kind of lineup he's playing. I don't know the kind of formation he's playing. Let me try to look at it at SofaScore, and try to understand, because I don't really get what kind of formation Mikel is playing today. If you're playing rolling at right back, that would be ridiculous. That's the thing. That would be absolutely ridiculous. And I would be totally mad if he played him at right back. So let's try to see who is playing at right back today. Chelsea are playing a 3-4-3 apparently, and Arsenal is apparently playing a 4-2-3-1. Robolding is playing at right back. Gabriel and Pablo Mari are playing at centre back. Kieran is playing at left back. So literally, we are having Robolding playing at right back. He has left all our right backs on the bench and he's decided to go for Robolding. Well, I have questions. I have questions on him as a manager. I mean, I've always had questions on him, especially with his selection. I mean, I don't know why Robolding is playing right back. If he's not been good enough as a centre back, the solution there is to drop him. He's no way special. There is nothing so special about Robolding, to be undroppable. He needs to be dropped. That is it. Not to try to find a new place for him, not try to find a new position for him. He needs to be dropped. But we shall talk about that in the match reaction. Gabriel has played with Pablo Mari for the first time. Two left-footed centre backs. Tierney is back in his position. Mohamed Elneny and Thomas Partey will be handling the midfield. I feel it's a very, very weak midfield if I compare it to the work rate of the likes of Havertz, Pulisic, Jorginho, and Mason Mount, who I think is their danger man. We shall have an entertaining piece of creativity from Emil Smith-Rowe, Martin Odegaard, and Bukayo Saka, and then pierre-emerick Aubameyang will be leading the line. So we are playing a 4-2-3-1 with Robolding as our right back. It's interesting, isn't it? Really, really interesting. I didn't expect to see that. Of all things, I didn't expect to see that from Mikel. David says Arsenal 1, Chelsea 2. That's a little bit more realistic. Georgie told me we are playing a 4-2-3-1. Now I agree, bro. Chelsea 2. This is Victor. Arsenal 1. I think it's gonna be. If we lose this game, it will be an easy one to predict. I mean, everybody should be predicting an Arsenal loss, shouldn't we? So I need just 15 comments for you guys to predicting 15 comments, and then we shall kick into the game. Why not play Granit Xhaka instead of Elneny? I think Xhaka is injured. And he's played so many games, so probably it's time to play Mohamed Elneny. But guys, don't stress about this game. Don't stress about much about this game. It's a game that doesn't really mean a lot. For facts, it's a game that doesn't really mean a lot. I don't expect you guys to be there frowning and failing to eat because Arsenal is going to lose to Chelsea, or Arsenal has failed to beat Chelsea. It's a game that really doesn't mean a lot. The best result Arsenal will get here is a draw. This is Chinedu. Thank you so much, bro. 3 at the back with Saka. No, it's 4 at the back. It's 4 at the back. Saka is not going to. Saka is playing up front. Christopher. So Saka is not playing right back. Holding at right back would be a disaster. Absolutely. I don't know what he has done. I don't know why he's gone with Robolding at right back. I mean, it's one of the worst you can ever think of. But regardless, we move. Arsenal 2, Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0, 3 right backs on the bench. I mean, it's something that really doesn't make sense. And Jeffrey says it's a 4-2-3-1 as well. Saka and Tierney are wing backs at the back. So where do you play Robolding? Are we playing 3? Do you mean to say that we are playing 3 centre backs today? It literally makes no sense. And even if you think about it, none of these players, either Gabriel Mari or Robolding, is fit to join the midfield. So it's a midfield pivot of 2, an attacking trio, and a lone striker in pierre-emerick Aubameyang, and then a back 4. So literally, that's Mikel. He's kept on messing with the team. He's kept on messing with Arsenal. Another trio today. Burnley is in goal. Another try today. I mean, I don't know why he keeps on changing his team like that. He's never sure about what he's doing. Because he just watched a combination of 18 and 25 to me, lineup today is good. Well, I think if you're saying Mohamed Elneny and Thomas Partey are good together, I can't agree with you. Honestly, I can't. I've seen them play together well against Manchester United. That is the last game they played well. Partey also played with them. Mohamed Elneny, I think, against Leicester City. We lost the game. But I don't think the fact is Mohamed Elneny is not good enough as a player. That's the first thing you've got to agree with. He's not good enough. So there's no way he can be a good partner to Thomas Partey. We need to be ruthless, and we need to be realistic. If you told, because literally for me, if you ask me how many players I would keep in this starting 11 today, I'd keep Aubameyang, I would keep Saka and Odegaard, I'd keep Partey, I'd keep Gabriel and Tierney. Those are the only players I would keep. The rest I would get rid of them. So, and I don't think this is a midfield that can battle the likes of Jorginho and Mason Mount. Mount is a fast tracking player, is a very, very fast running player. I don't see that happen. I don't see Arsenal really getting ahead of themselves and destroying Chelsea in the midfield. I think it's gonna be Chelsea dominating the game, 90 minutes, doing whatever they want, and Arsenal probably getting on the break. Instead of Emile Smith-Rowe, I could have played Martinelli on the left-hand side of the pitch. He deserves playing time. These are the games we should give the likes of Gabi Martinelli. He deserves game time. He deserves match fitness. And these are the games. The last 3 games in the season, you're not chasing any position. You better give it to your youngsters, and they get hold of it. Chelsea win. This is go for it. I mean, if Chelsea don't win it, if Chelsea don't win this, Thomas Tuchel will be very disappointed, very, very disappointing, and it will be heartbreaking for Chelsea fans. They've got to win it. There is nothing, absolutely nothing. They will use as an excuse. They've got to win it. I don't understand Arteta at times. I mean, why is he playing Rob Holding at right back? I think that is the least you can expect from Mikel Arteta. We've seen him make Rob Holding captain on a couple of times. We've seen him make the likes of Bellerin captain on a couple of times. So I think it's not a big surprise. It's not a very, very big surprise that we are seeing Rob Holding at right back. He's played Emile Smith-Rowe in a semi-final as a false 9, something that he has never done before in his life. He has gambled in a semi-final, so you expect him to gamble in always. I've told you before, he's a gambler. So yeah, and that's what gamblers do. If Rob Holding plays at right back, this is a classic example of a manager overthinking things. This is according to Smith. That's a funny comment, isn't it? Hi, Kosi Cine from Salarial. Trust me, today Arsenal is gonna cry. Is another cry for us. You know what? I didn't cover the West Brom game, did I? No. I also didn't cover the Newcastle game as well. So I've not covered 2 games now, and the fact is that I don't feel match day vibes. I just don't feel match day vibes with the current situation at the club, and the manager. He's been speaking a lot of trash, and I'm going to go through those interviews after, I think, tomorrow. When we do the daily programs, so make sure you tuned in at exactly 5 p.m., 7 p.m., and 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. There is no way you can trust this manager. He's been speaking in press conferences saying that more than 7 players are going to leave the club. It's going to be a very different side. We're going to compete for Champions League. And if you have a manager that cannot pick his best right back, his best right players, why would I back such a manager? Even if I were Kroenke, I would think twice. That's the truth. I would think twice. And I think, decisions like this, having to see Rob Holding at right back against Chelsea, if it's against West Brom, you understand. I mean, West Brom is West Brom. But if a club like Chelsea, if you're playing, Rob Holding at right back, it clearly shows you that there is something wrong with the manager when the club is releasing training kits training skits and training videos, they show us that our players are doing well. When the team selection time comes, the worst players are selected. I mean, what does it mean? How do you say? You always show us that Martinelli is banging in top corner shots, but he's never selected. You always show us that Balogun is banging in top class shots, top class finishes. He's never selected. And my big question is, why don't we see these players who are good in training? Why do they never get selected? Why are always the worst players selected? I mean, this season, what has Robolding cost us this season? Absolutely nothing. So, in my point of view, that is what you expect from a manager like Mikel Arteta. You don't have a permanent right back. You don't have a permanent centre back partnership. You don't have a permanent midfield partnership. You don't have a permanent striker. It is only natural that Arsenal has finished out of the Europa League places. We are more inconsistent than West Brom. We are more inconsistent than Fulham. We are more inconsistent than the likes of Southampton and West Ham. Teams have organized themselves. We have taken a whole season without organizing ourselves. The team is a shambles created by a manager. You can't fail to organize a starting lineup for 35 games. The word good enough is becomes a little bit kind then. If a manager does not organize a starting 11 for 35 games, what do you expect? Always experimenting on something. I mean, and this is a very good comment from HJ. Thank you, bro. Arteta, he's always I'm asking myself, when will his experiments ever end? The likes of Arsene Wenger, we used to see players like Bakary Sagna. Sagna was untouchable. He was not the best of right backs in the league, but he was untouchable. That was consistent, and time in, time out, you could see that because it is consistent, it works out. The likes of Loro Koscielny, that was a confirmed start. Whenever he was fit, Loro Koscielny was the first centre back to be read. The likes of Robin Verbes. But for Mikel, he's always trying to change something. I don't know whether he's still in an academy somewhere learning and trying out new things. I don't know whether he has not graduated yet. Probably he hasn't. But he's always trying out something new. And for me, it doesn't make sense. This is a club that is big enough. Big enough. You don't need to start experimenting time in, time out. This is not a small club. Really. This is not a small club. Another win for Arsenal. This is going to Alan Mongai. I mean, it's not bad to be optimistic, bro. I hope you can tell me the same in the match reaction. We will be here. Hi, is Arteta going to play Tierney in midfield? No, Tierney is playing at left back. Hello, Kosi. I'm so called Julius. It's a win, 2-1. Thank you so much, Julius. I'm waiting for that win. What's happening to Aziz and Balogun? I don't think we are going to see Miguel Aziz in the Premier League this season. It would be a little bit too early for Balogun. I would have wanted to see Balogun get a chance. That's it. I would have wanted to see Balogun get a chance. Yeah, but I don't see. I don't see Miguel Aziz, get a chance in the Premier League this season. Because Arteta is not good enough to be manager, to be coach. He's not good enough to be manager even. He's not good. Actually, he's not good enough to be coach, and we have promoted him to manager. But I think the fact has come through the ranks that Arsenal as a club is not good enough. Arsenal as a club has never been that ambitious, and that is and that has reflected in the fact that we have sacked previous managers without backing them, and we have brought in a manager who has never managed anywhere. So the fact that you have Mikel Arteta at the top of your at the top of your coaching staff, who has never managed anywhere, a player that I even don't think has the DNA of Arsenal, Well, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. He only came here. He only came here because of financial reasons. The Kroenkes never wanted to invest in someone that was going to ask them to back him. That's the only reason. So it's understandable, isn't it? Really, really understandable. Kosi, why can't we sell the club to Ake? Well, if you want to know about the takeover, it looks like Ake. The latest we know is Ake said that he's not going to talk about the takeover again. He's gonna do the things private, probably. So we are waiting for his official bid. I've not seen his official bid, unless I've missed something, but I've not seen of his official bid yet. And that is something that we need to see at this point in time. We need to see him bid. We need to see, at least an official bid from Daniel Ake. But before he makes that bid, it really, we are not anywhere close to to selling the club. The Kroenkes want to sell to anyone who has not made a bid. So we're waiting for his bid. And I remember when I told you that businessmen, capitalists, are always capitalists. However much Daniel Ake is an Arsenal fan, he is still a capitalist. He's still a businessman. At the end of the day, if he comes, if he changes his mind and turns around, and all this that has happened becomes a profitable public stand for his Spotify business, I won't be surprised. He's a capitalist. He knows if he wants to buy Arsenal, the stock prices of Spotify are gonna rise through the roofs overnight, and that's what happened. So, well, I don't want to believe he's a quack. I don't want to say that he's a quack, but according to Sky Sports and my favorite journalist Cave, he has said, my favorite journalist at Sky, not my favorite journalist overall, but at Sky, he has said that Daniel Ake is still there. He's still very confident. He's still serious and committed to buying Arsenal. However, he has said he will not be speaking about the takeover because it will distract. It will be a distraction to the players and the manager as we conclude the season. So he said that at the morning after we lost to Villarreal, or we were dumped out of the Europa League by Villarreal. So literally what we understood there is we are not expecting much from Daniel Ake in terms of public speaking. What we expect is an official bid, which should have appeared by now, because according to Sky, it had to take 10 days. We are now probably in 14 days, and we have not seen that public, and we have not seen that bid. So we've got to think. We've got to think, is Daniel Ake really going to buy Arsenal? Are the Kroenkes going to sell? There's a lot of publicity. There's so many publicity stars now going on. The Kroenkes have made the media. If you're reading Arsenal news now, of course my show is called the Arsenal News now. But if you're reading, Arsenal stories, you'll see that element of Arsenal being so confident that they're going to sign players and the Kroenkes are going to invest and they're going to back. So that is a publicity stunt. It's not true. Then you have another one of the Arsenal takeover, which is the only positive news we have as Arsenal fans at the moment. But we can't say it can't be a publicity stunt. It can be a publicity stunt. So there's so many there's so many notices that are going around the Arsenal club for courtesy of publicity. So I really don't know whether the takeover is even gonna happen anytime soon, but we're still waiting for that. Please, I want to ask, why do Arteta always like to play in Nketiah ahead of Balogun? I think the fact is Nketiah graduated ahead of Balogun. That there are no questions about that. Eddie Nketiah graduated ahead of Balogun. I think what Balogun has is he's an academy player who has achieved so much. I mean, in terms of the love, the love for the fans, which something that I think Eddie Nketiah doesn't have. And for me, who is the better striker? I think it is Balogun. But there's no way Mikel was going to, just throw in Balogun ahead of Eddie Nketiah, because Nketiah has played some Premier League games. He's been out on loan on a couple of occasions, at different clubs in the Championship and other levels. So you think he's a little bit more experienced to appear in the Premier League, but that doesn't justify the fact that even in the Europa League, Balogun has not got a chance. So, but the manager as a person has a problem, so I cannot really defend him. I'm not in the best position to defend this manager. I think we're playing a 3-4-3. This is according to Philip. Thank you so much, bro. Because Arsenal don't have a manager, period. This is according to Paul. I mean, you put it right. As Kosi, Arsenal do not have a manager, period. I think I'm gonna be honest, and I'll speak about this in the match reaction. I think Arsenal is lucky. We are so lucky that we are even gonna finish either 9th or we could have we could have finished 15th. 15th. We could have been relegated. Facts are facts. I mean, with such kind of a manager, we could have gotten relegated. We were at the verge of relegation last year. Still remember, and I think. I mean, if there is anyone who has prayed for this football club, we need to thank them in kind, because this is a football club that has seen many challenges this season. We're lucky that we are still in this league. We are lucky with Stan Kroenke, with the kind of board we have, with the kind of manager we have, with the kind of players we have. There is no way Arsenal deserves to be where we are. There is no way. The quality of the players might be okay, because I think our players can fight with Chelsea for top 6, for the top 7 positions, for the top 6. But the manager himself is an absolute disgrace, a disgrace. And that is, whether we win this game, we don't win it. My title for the match reaction is Arteta is an absolute disgrace. That is my thumbnail title. Arteta is a disgrace. You're picking the likes of Rob Holding. I mean, trying to experiment him in a new position. What do you gain in that? I mean, what is so special about Arsenal playing Rob Holding at right back? If you've decided to go for a new centre back partnership like you've always done, why don't you stick with one of your right backs? I wouldn't care if Bellerin, played. I would shout, because I don't like him, because he's not good enough, because he's been the worst player in the season. But playing Rob Holding is even worse. A player has failed to perform in his rightful position, and you're playing him out of position. Does it make sense? I mean, does it make any sense? It really doesn't make sense. So if you say that, Paul, if you say that we do not have a manager, period, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you. Arsenal do not have a manager. That's it. Arteta must go. I'm just tired of that guy, man. Another cry for Arsenal. Trust me, Kosi, but God will pay that Kroenke family for sure. The Kroenkes are so disappointing. They're very, very disappointing. I think we will win, because when we had a few months ago from Arteta, it came from the 3-4-3 formation. So I'm pretty excited to see how we play today. Well, I don't think you're going to have. I don't think you're going to have the happiness you deserve. You are an Arsenal fan, so you deserve to be happy. But I don't think you're going to have the happiness you deserve. I'm telling you for facts. Is Tete for Norwich City leaving the club? I've seen Norwich City trying to commemorate him. I don't know whether he's leaving, but he's been a very, very loyal player there, so he might not leave that easily. Thoughts on Camavinga to Arsenal? Do you want it to happen? Do you think it will happen? Do you think he will be a good signing considering his young age, and it will take him time to adapt to the Premier League? Thank you so much, Philip. I've spoken about Camavinga before, and I'm just going to try to answer your question. Do I want it to happen? 100%. I want it to happen. Do I think it will happen? No. all sources close to Camavinga have already trashed the rumors that Arsenal are working so hard to sign Camavinga. He's 18 years of age, playing down in the French League A with Rennes, and he has 1 year left on his contract. Now, my thoughts is, with the financial situation Arsenal are in, you need to chase such kind of deals. A player that has 1 year left on his contract, those are the kind of deals we should do, rather than fighting for players who have 3 years left on their contracts, which makes them a little bit more expensive. Do I think we will get Camavinga? No. First and foremost, he's a player who's young but very ambitious. You can see him. He's a top quality player. The likes of Manchester United, Manchester City, and a couple of other clubs that are interested in him are a little bit more attractive than Arsenal. At the moment, if a player is going to is going to be attracted to Arsenal, it will be more like emotionally. I mean, that player is going to be an Arsenal fan, the likes of Bissouma, because Bissouma is an Arsenal fan, so you could see him landing at the Emirates. But Camavinga is a top-class talent, and I would take Camavinga over Bissouma. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, because what you have in Camavinga is that creative player who's going to add something to the press, to Arsenal's press. If you look at the midfield we played today, just look at it. We played Elneny, Partey, Smith Rowe, and Odegaard. Elneny literally doesn't add anything to our press. Nothing, absolutely nothing to our press. So the best thing to think about is a player playing next to Thomas Partey, who can add to the press, who can, progress that ball forward. And for me, Camavinga can do that. He is absolutely the right player to do that. Do I think he's going to come to Arsenal? No. Do I think we should sign him? I think we should do whatever it takes to try to sign him, because the moment you have a player like Camavinga, who has the physique, who has the athleticism and the creativity next to Thomas Partey, and Partey has the same qualities and characteristics, then you just need to place a very good number 10 or a very good attacking midfielder just ahead of them. So Camavinga is a good player. Do I think Arsenal will get him? I don't think. Do I think we need to get him? Absolutely. Those are the kind of deals we should fight to do. Thank you so much, bro. I talk about Saliba coming back to Arsenal next season. This is Raka. Thank you so much, bro. Raka. This has been confirmed now. It's confirmed. I've said it before. If you watch the video about, if you've watched that video about William Saliba, you could see I talked about much of this, but it is confirmed. Dinos Mavropanos might stay at Stuttgart for another season, but William Saliba will be coming back in the summer. Arsenal, he's gonna get involved. Mikel Arteta says he's gonna give him a chance, according as per Chris Whitley, who is one of the best journalists to report for you Arsenal matters, not forgetting the likes of Charles West as well, and David Ornstein. But Chris Whitley, who writes for Football to London, has said the player is coming back. The player is coming back, and we will see him next season. So I think Mikel Arteta will try to evaluate him during the preseason. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. If you tell me my opinion, I mean, if I'm to share my opinion with William Saliba about William Saliba coming back, I think that's a no-brainer. That is absolutely a no-brainer. With the likes of Rob Holding, without Arsenal do not have a backup right-footed centre back. We can't continue like this. I mean, Arteta said next season we are going to qualify for Champions League. There is no way we can continue using players like Rob Holding. Absolutely. So I think first and foremost, it was a great thing to sign him. It was a very great decision to sign him under Unai Emery. And I told you in that season that I was very disappointed. We have a very but we have a very good, talented right-footed centre-back on at Saint-Etienne, and we were using David Louis, who was making mistake after mistake in that season where we sacked Unai Emery. When Saliba comes back this season, Mikel Arteta trashes him. He doesn't give him a chance. And you ask yourself, what does this manager really want? So I want Saliba to come back. I want him to get a chance. I would partner him with Pablo Mari first, because Mari has the experience and Mari is a little bit calm. But the confidence of William Saliba makes me envious of the likes of Saint-Etienne, of the likes of Nice. This guy, if he signed a 4-year contract or a 5-year contract, he spent 2 years away at the club on loan. So literally, we can only use him for another 2 years before he signs a new deal. And what if 2 years expire and we have not used him, and he decides to quit? You know, these are the things we've always spoken about. Players becoming great, and then Arsenal starting to say, we signed that guy. We were about to sign Zlatan. We were about to sign Messi. We signed Saliba, and it's now. You remember what happened with Virgil van Dijk before he moved to Southampton. Arsenal was going to sign him from Celtic. That is what happened. So I think William Saliba deserves a chance. There is no way we are going to believe that a quack manager is saying one of our best young defenders is not good enough, because Arteta is a quack. So a quack manager cannot tell us, that our player is not good enough. No. So he's a quack manager. We need to see William Saliba. Let us prove by our eyes that he's not good enough. Let us prove by our own eyes that he's not ready. The moment you tell me that a player like Saliba is not ready, the moment you say that, you are a quack manager. You're a quack. And I think by now we know. Arteta is a quack manager. Just a little update. The Champions League final will not be played in Istanbul or London. The Champions League final is expected to be played in FC Porto. That is according to Fabrizio Romano. Anyone who cares about that information. Mike, rate the chances of Arsenal sacking Arteta this season. Okay, which team does Camavinga play for? Camavinga plays for Rennes. Yeah, Camavinga plays for Rennes or Rennes in France, and he's a very exciting player. He's just 18 years of age. Rate the chances that he's gonna be sacked. Let us rate Mikel Arteta's sacking this season at a scale of 10. So I think the chances of Arsenal sacking Mikel Arteta this season are 2 out of 10. We can only sack Mikel Arteta if we lose against Chelsea. If we lose our 3 games, I think it can create an alarm. If we lose all the remaining 3 games, you have already seen after Arsenal beating West Brom and Newcastle, the fan base has changed its mind. The board has already changed its mind. So the chances are so slim that Arteta is going to get sacked this season. We have had the rumors that Allegri is favourite to take up his job according to TalkSport. We have also had the Daily Mail that Mauricio Sarri is favourite to take up Mikel Arteta's job. But those are all clickbaits. That's the truth. Those are all clickbaits. The truth is Arteta is going to stay. He's going to stay. Fabrizio has said something, and I'm going to read it for you about Arsenal sacking Mikel Arteta. He has said something today, but I don't know if I can find it as soon as possible. He has said something about Mikel Arteta today. If I can't find it, then I'm going to... Okay, this is it. Is this it? Is it this? No, this is around... This is about... Wow, I think I retweeted it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, because I put there a lot of Arsenal updates, especially for transfers. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Look for Kosi's Arsenal Podcast. You'll find me there. Kosi's Arsenal Podcast. Very, 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 very active these days. So let me read for you. Arteta confident every Arsenal target still wants to join. That is what Arteta said. And I want something around Mikel Arteta staying at the club. Okay, this is it. So this is according to AFC staff. They said Arsenal still retains support. Arteta still retains support from the majority of the squad. Certain individuals even sought assurances that he would be kept before entering into negotiations on a new contract. Many players remain loyal and continue to hold him in high regard despite the results. That is as per The Athletic. So and I've said this before, there is no way, according to the business model of the Cronkies, it only works in their favor. That's it. The moment you have a manager who doesn't ask for much money, who doesn't ask you to invest a lot of money, that's the manager you want to work with if you're the Cronkies. If this was Chelsea, Arteta should have been sacked 20, 30 times by now. But because we have a business model run by the Cronkies, there's no way we're going to sack him. The chances are very, very slim that we'll sack him. It is really good for us to sell Arsenal to a billionaire who is ready to invest into a club to buy better players like Bissouma, Haaland, Kamavinga, Hakimi, Aouar, and one backup left back to Kieran Tierney. I think that's what everybody wants. That's the truth. That's what everybody wants. All of us want to see Arsenal get back to that level where it was, and the only way we can do that is getting quality. But I don't think we shall get the quality. That is for facts. I don't think Arsenal will be able to sign the quality players we want to. They are two different things: wanting the quality and being able to afford it. But I don't think we will be able to afford that. Daniel Ek maybe, but even if Arsenal is going to be sold to Daniel Ek, it will be a process beyond the summer. And the moment the Cronkies try to invest money in the summer, it's going to increase the valuation of the club. Just imagine if Arsenal have if Arsenal have Haaland, if we spend 200 million, I mean, God forbid, but if we spend 200 million in one summer, the valuation of the club will go higher and higher and higher. That's it. So guys, I wish Arsenal luck in this game. I'm going to go watch the game, and then I'll come back and we do the match reaction. Love you so much. Make sure you've always hit that like button. Make sure you always subscribe to the channel, because it really means a lot, and you guys are the real ones.